Hi, how are you? Unaendeleaje? Today I'm happy to be here and I request you to give me your ears for less than an hour. Kindly give me your ears for those few minutes I'll be talking to you. Let's be honest with each other today. Just you and me. Do you know basic first aid as an individual? What about your friends? The friends you walk with most of the time, or those people you walk or work with bigger percentage of your time. Here at Doan, we walk into the communities here and there, into corporate spaces, like offering free life-saving knowledge. We bring the equipment, we don't ask anyone to give us. We bring the expertise. We do not ask for a single shillings. And what do we hear out there? We hear, oh, I am too busy. I'm not available. Or some will ask, utatulipa transport ya kukaa hapo ama ya kukuja hapo. Some will ask, kuna lunch? People want to be paid a sitting allowance to learn how to keep their own parents alive. They want a stipend to learn how to save their own children, their own life. Nashangaa. But let an emergency strike. That same household at 2 a.m. Suddenly, the busy person is now screaming. And who do they blame? They blame the ambulance that it is maybe stuck in traffic of Nairobi. They blame the government. They blame the hospital. They blame everyone else except the person they see in the mirror. They forget the first ambulance is always the person standing next to them, to that casualty. Yani, I usually sometimes nakosa words to express this feeling that I'm feeling inside me. Look at our leaders. They have money. They have, convoys. They have heavily armed security details. They chase cars to clear the traffic, the siren, But when the heart stops, those bosses or prominent people, when their heart stops, all of that wealth become completely useless. Your bodyguard cannot shoot a heart attack, okay? Your money cannot negotiate with the electrical failure in your chest. All they know how to do is drive fast and fast. But driving fast to a hospital when the brain dies or is dying, like in 4 minutes, that is not a rescue plan, my dear. That is just a fast ride to the mortuary. To understand why wealth and Jessica cannot save you, we must deeply understand the biology. People use the term heart attack and cardiac arrest interchangeably, as if they are exact same thing. But they are not. They are not the same thing. If you do not know the difference, you do not understand the emergency. I hope we are together. I say today, let us just be honest. Now, let's start with the heart attack. Heart attack, this is a circulation problem. It is a plumbing issue. Imagine the pipes bringing fresh water to your house and suddenly getting clogged with a thick mud. Now, in your body, these pipes are called coronary arteries. And the mud is the buildup of plague or a sudden blood clot. When this blockage happens, Oxygen-rich blood cannot reach a specific section of your heart muscle, like your heart is a muscle, okay? The heart continues to beat, but that starved section of a muscle begins to suffocate, and it will suffocate and dies. The longer the blockage remains untreated, the greater the permanent damage to the heart wall. The person is usually awake, they can talk to you, and the immediate need is to transport them to a hospital to unblock that artery. Clear with heart attack? Now, let's look at cardiac arrest. Cardiac arrest is an entirely different thing. This is an electrical problem. Your heart has a built-in pacemaker that sends precise electrical impulses to the muscles exactly when to squeeze and pump blood. In sudden cardiac arrest, this electrical system completely shorts out. The heart stops its rhythmic pumping and begins to quiver chaotically, like, you know, and instantly, blood stops flowing to the brain and the rest of the body, because now the supplier, which is the heart, is sick, if I may use those terms. The person will, now your casualty, the person will drop to the ground, lose consciousness, like immediately with cardiac arrest, and stop breathing normally. They might exhibit gasp, like wanapumua vifani, si kama kawaida, not like a normal breathing. So we call those breathing gasps, which sounds like a choking or a snoring sound, but it is not actual breathing. In a state of a cardiac arrest, the person is, we call clinically dead, not biologically dead. This person of cardiac arrest is clinically dead. You do not have like hours to save this person. Like, this cardiac arrest is not the same as heart attack, as I have explained hapo nyuma. Here you have minutes without immediate intervention to manually force blood to the brain. Irreversible brain death begins within 4 to 6 minutes. And do you have these minutes, or mara mingi when we have this sudden collapse, what do we do huko kwa barabara? We start screaming, or in the house we start screaming. And remember, the brain does not wait for you to scream until now you come back to your senses. We need to be proactive in this life. Mara we teta, there is sure thing, it is not working, but still when we call you for a free first aid training to save you, to understand how to rest that bleeding, to know how to do CPR, you're telling us you're busy. Brother, sister, mom, dad, what do you want us to do beyond this? We are giving this free training, and you're asking us to pay you. We are also not making a lot of money. We are just sacrificing our free time to pay back to the community. But you're asking us for things we do not have. Even us, you're looking for that donation. If we get that money, definitely we will pay you to come for a class. But again, I'm paying you to save your own life or your family member's life. Surely you are supposed to pay me. I'm giving you this knowledge, but I'm asking nothing. We are asking nothing at Doan. You might sit there and think this only happened to elderly people or visibly sick people. Let me read you the reality on the ground. Heart-related diseases now account for approximately 14% of all deaths in Kenya. This crisis does not respect your title. Imagine, does not matter who you are, what you have done, how much you are worth. does not matter your bank account, your fitness level, or your political power. Okay, let us look at history like year by year to see the sheer impact of who have lost or who we have lost as a country, where they were, and exactly what happened to these people. 2024, start back then. 2024, we lost a Homa Bay senator and a former minister, Otieno Kajwang, a very powerful local, vocal leader. He complained of severe chest pain at his home and was rushed to Mater Hospital in Nairobi, where he succumbed to a massive cardiac arrest. We come to 2025, I can't remember this guy's name. 2026, a veteran, a highly respected journalist, was called Chege Bitiru, passed away in Nairobi from a sudden cardiac arrest, silencing one of the finest pens in our media landscape. In 2027, we had an Interior Cabinet Secretary, Major General retired Joseph Nkanseri, right? A man in charge of National's entire security apparatus. Imagine. He suffered an acute heart attack and collapsed at his home in Karen, Nairobi. All the state security machinery at his disposal could not restart his heart. Just fasted training, a proper fasted training. Okay? In 2028, the pro-democracy pioneer, this person, the veteran politician, Kenneth Matiba, passed away also at Karen Hospital in Nairobi following the same thing, cardiac arrest, ending an era of immense political history. Between 2020 and 2021, here we talk about our workers. Over this period, between 2020 and 2021, over this period, at least 89 Kenyan domestic workers died in Saudi Arabia. The official cause of death given by authority there, or by that time, and again, was cardiac arrest. Watu wote, like 89 is a big number, okay? The official cause of death given by this authority was cardiac arrest. This exposes the deadly, undeniable reality of extreme physical exhaustion, like severe occupational stress and sometimes, terrible labor condition. The human heart literally gives out under weight of an abuse system. We abuse our system. That was about workers or domestic workers. In 2021, the Senior National Land Commission officer, Antipas Nyanjwa, right, suffered a fatal heart attack along Ngong Road in Nairobi. Again, in 2022, this prominent person, anaitwa Paul Gisheru, the lawyer Paul Gisheru, passed away from a suspected also cardiac arrest at his residence in Karen, Nairobi. In 2023, again, we saw the loss of two titans. You know who are these? The former Education Cabinet Secretary, Professor George Magoha. He succumbed to a suspected, again, heart attack at Nairobi Hospital. The same year, the Kenya Olympic Committee Vice President, Waithaka Kioni, also passed away suddenly from a heart attack in Nairobi. Guys, list is endless. We remember in 2024, Charles Kipkorir, a 33 years old Kenyan athlete, absolute peak physical condition, or with peak physical condition, He was leading a grueling mountain race in Cameroon. He pushed through the pain, crossed the finish line, collected his prize, and then collapsed from a fatal heart attack. Fitness alone does not make you immune. I'm just giving this statistic for you to relate that you're also not immune to this condition. In 2025, the year, the entire continent was shaken. On October 15th, former Prime Minister Raila Odinga suffered a fatal cardiac arrest in Kochi, India. I'm giving this information, the information that is in public domain, the information that we were told or we had kwa news. He was out of a morning walk with his family and his personal doctor when he suddenly collapsed. All the medical expertise working right behind him could not reverse the electrical failure. Earlier that same year, former Busia Deputy Governor Moses Mulomi suffered a sudden cardiac arrest while simply traveling through Nakuru. And this year, 2026, May is last month. This May, Dr. Job Obwaka, a renowned 83 years veteran gynecologist, a former board member at the Nairobi Hospital. He collapsed suddenly at a residence in Kitengela. He was rushed to the very hospital he used to direct, but was pronounced dead on arrival. And this brings me to a reality in our offices. Before even we talk about that, who do you work with? Who are your friends? Do they know first aid? If you collapse, can they save you? Can they? Now, we talk about something I always talk about on my TikTok, educating employees on WIBA. Let me bring you this. WIBA, the Work Injury Benefit Act, 2007. Most companies think occupational safety and health is just about providing physical PPE. They will buy industrial helmet and high visibility jackets, but they won't train a single employee on the floor in basic CPR or invest in defibrillator for the office. What happens when an employee suffers a sudden cardiac arrest right at their desk because of extreme or unmanaged workplace stresses? The heart doesn't fail out of nowhere. It fails because of a toxic work environment, for example. Also, it can fail because of psychosocial hazard, chronic burnout, fear of retrenchment, and unbearable weight of trying to survive in a harsh economy. Bosses and the systems you are using, are putting workers under so much psychological distress that is physically breaks their heart. If that worker dies on the office, like your office, because not a single colleague or HR manager knew how to do chest compression or know how to do this chest compression, that is a catastrophic failure of our workplace safety. But to invest so much in this equipment or PPE, and you're forgetting one skill that can save you, the director, you, the boss, you, the CEO. One skill. And before we die, our heart will stop. Are you in a position, or your people, are they in a position to reverse this thing? Now I want to talk about young people, the youth, the sherehe generation. You love your weekend road trips. You organize massive hiking expedition to Mount Longonot, to Karura, to hidden waterfalls across the country. You pack your cars. You blast your music. You plan the perfect outfit for your Instagram photos. You rely completely on your personal vehicles to transport you to hospital in case of an emergency. You do not have a single emergency number saved on your phones. Not one. Not. You tell me that when I ask these young people, they tell me that they will Google, hey, until it happen, and then Google does not work. That Google does not give you the answer you're looking for. And when we at Dawn say, come, let us give you a one-day training, a free first aid training, or just hours for water safety awareness before you travel. What do you tell us? Oh, we are busy. Oh, we have to go to work. Oh, you're busy. Until the mountain or the river or the highway forces you to stop and be free all of a sudden. Let me give you the data, because the tragedy of the youth is written in blood and deep water. Did you know that drowning is now one of the top causes of death for young Kenyans, aged between 15 and 29? We lose over 1,200 people a year to drowning alone. 2029, a group of friends traveled from Nairobi for a weekend hike at Mount Longonot. While at the rim of the crater, one of the hikers complained of severe chest congestion and dizziness, and he collapsed. His friend did not know what to do. You see on news, because hawajui wote wana rely on Google or AI. They waited over 4 hours hoping that this ranger could save them. The man died right there in their arms at 6 p.m. 4 hours of watching a friend die because nobody had the skill to intervene. And you're calling them your friends? You're calling them that, oh, we are going for a hike with our friend? Someone is lying to these people. Someone is lying to us. Someone is letting us prioritize other things than our health, than the skills that we're supposed to have. Who is this lying to us, citizen of this country? Please help me reach these people. Please. 2021, between 2021 and 2022, during major rally weekends and sherehe holidays in Naivasha, we lose young people on the highways. A convoy of friends get into a crash. There is a massive hemorrhage, like bleeding. Instead of someone knowing how to properly apply a tourniquet or controlling this severe bleeding, there is only a panic. They try to bundle the bleeding victim into a back of a personal car to speed to the nearest clinic. Boss, and I bleed, and you're still here, you have these speed cars to rush them to the hospital. That is not an ambulance. And before an ambulance gets to where you are, you need to be doing something. They bleed to death in the back seat because driving fast cannot stop an artery from pumping blood out of the body. May 2024, we lost Cheruiyot Kirui, a 40-years-old Kenyan banker and elite mountaineer attempting to, those summit Mount Everest. The moment you're isolated from pre-hospital care, your fitness means absolutely nothing against failing body. June 2024, a very young person, 24 years, miaka 24, a university student named Benjamin Bagu, was playing a football match with his friends in Karen, Nairobi. Young, fit, full of energy. During a short break, he suddenly collapsed on the field. He was rushed to the hospital in a personal vehicle, but he was pronounced dead on arrival. September 2025, a group of over 100 youths organized a massive weekend getaway to Kimunye Forest in Kirinyaga. A 25-year-old man, John Rimui, was taking a selfie near an edge of a waterfall. he slipped. He was swept away by a strong current while his friends watched, completely helpless. Over 100 young people in one place. Not one, like one of them had the skill or the equipment to save his life. 100 people. Aki sijui kama nanisikia. Aki, I don't know. January this year, 2026, a group of 11 young hikers went on a mission at Ragia Waterfall in Nyandara while attempting a selfie again at the notorious waterfall. 2 young men, 17 years old and 20 years old, slipped and plundered into the water. The rest of the group could only stand on the rocks and watch as the water swallowed their friends. March 2026, we watched in tears a Moi University student lost their own colleague who drowned in river ni Keses. Another young bright mind lost to the water while his peer looked in horror. Tunafaa kuona hizi vipindi ngapi? Tunafaa kuona watu mara ngapi ndio tuweze kuavail ourselves for these free classes? Okay, you have money, pay. But money, I guess, is not the problem that you're having. It is time and prioritizing other things than your own thing. I say, this accident, do not have, like you're not immune to them as an individual. It does not matter who you are. They're happening to anyone. How ready are you? These organizers of these hikes and, cycling, skating, boss, tunapiga shughuli gani? You're organizing things. You're not even like Basi looking for first aid or asking, do we have a first aider, a trained, well-equipped first aider in our group that you're traveling with? These are not just statistics, bro, sister. These are sons, brothers, and university students who lives ended in the, hey. These are brothers, people. These are sisters. These students walikuwa shule, whose lives zime end in the middle of sherehe because of sheer negligence. You think taking a nice photo for Instagram is worth standing on a sleeping or slippery rock above a raging current without a trained rescue swimmer on standby? Nyinyi organizer wa hizi event. Let me tell you the harsh truth. The river does not care about your WhatsApp group. Your first Subaru, it does not care. That Subaru of yours is not an ambulance. It does not have oxygen in it. It does not have a defibrillator in it. That Subaru driver who is panicking behind the steering wheel is not an emergency medical technician. Anaweza to drive faster and faster and faster to mortuary, not to hospital, saving a life. Look at that list that I have given. Political leaders, elite athletes, the youth, the vulnerable migrant workers, they all share one defining truth. When tragedy strikes, the immediate environment dictates survival. And that immediate environment, it is you, that friend is expecting you to save them when this tragedy strikes. When this emergency strike, they are depending on you. And that money you think you have cannot do CPR. Sawa? That money you have, that big cars you have, that PhD you have, you as an engineer, they cannot or it cannot do CPR. It cannot arrest bleeding. It cannot pack a wound. You have to have this knowledge. Watu wa security, nyinyi guards, this convoy, ni sawa. You're protecting our prominent people. You're providing them security. But a very basic thing you cannot do. Between the moment a person becomes a casualty on the ground and the moment they become inpatient on a hospital bed, there is a massive, deadly gap. That gap is exactly where Kenyans are dying. That gap is exactly where we are dying. Kenyans are dying in that gap. Who operates in that gap? The EMT, the emergency medical technician, that first aider. We are calling you to come and train for free. These are the professionals who understand the difference between the plumbing and the electrical failure of the heart. Yet, how does our labor system treat them, these EMTs? They are not respected in the society. They are even not known who is an EMT. You tell someone an EMT, they are like, who is that? What kind of course is that? They are not properly recognized by the government or the private sector. They are being kicked here and there. In many places, they are treated as nothing more than glorifying drivers. But a driver cannot defibrillate a quivering heart. The EMT is the absolute bridge between life and death. That first aider can do CPR, then an EMT picks up. When we fail to recognize and protect and properly compensate our EMTs, we are actively deciding to let people die in the street and in the living rooms or their living rooms. We are failing our workers, and in turn, we are failing our communities. Do you know why I'm involving EMTs? Because most of the time, these prominent people, when they collapse and an ambulance is here, they decide they cannot enter that because they are fearing of their safety. Anaingia kwa ambulance, hajui hao watu kawa wanaenda kumuua. It's funny. And you're in the system. When I look at my own kids, when I watch them sitting quietly and forcing them to be educated, my greatest responsibility as a parent isn't just to pay school fees. My greatest responsibility is knowing exactly what to do with my own two hands if she suddenly stops breathing. You cannot outsource a survival or the survival of your own blood to Nairobi traffic jam. Stop making excuses. Stop making those excuses, people. Stop demanding a sitting allowance to learn how to prevent human life. This human life that you're like, I'm asking you to learn so you can save them. It is someone's life. It is someone's only person who brings food on their table. Learn these skills so you can save them. The next life you save will not be a stranger. Trust me, on that highway. It will be your colleague. It will be your spouse. It will be your child. The system won't save you. We have to save each other. And that's why I am here, to tell you we have to save one another. Let us not wait for the hospital. Tumfikishe hospitali. Between you and the hospital, something is supposed to be done. Something is supposed to be happening before we get to the hospital. And who can do this? It's you. And when you don't have this skill and knowledge, we lose these people. Now, I invite you to join us at Doan Human Library. Let us have this conversation. Let us empower the vulnerable workers. Let us advocate for first aiders, every household. Let us advocate for EMTs, emergency medical technician, and let's learn to these skills we need to protect our own. Because at the end of the day, every community service matters. Oh. Thank you, people. Let me just stop there. Thank you.